Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Happy National Scrapbook Day. So I'm creating that traveler's notebook based on this bingo challenge. So this is one of the challenges for International Scrapbook Day. And I am going to work on the first line across. So I'm going to have fussy cutting, washi, multiple photos, so at least 3, hand stitching. You can choose either hand or machine, and stamping. So Bella Blvd does not have stamps, so this is obviously not going to be a Bella Blvd product, but where the product exists, we would prefer you to use Bella Blvd. So I am working in my random about me things traveler's notebook. This is just kind of fun for me, maybe fun for the kids to look back on later. And so I am going to not stamp and or put things directly into the page, but I'm basically building pages off the book that I will adhere into the page. So I have, you can see that rainbow colored grid that is up the top. And then they sort of gray on white, tone on tone-ish. It just adds for a background that is textured, really, because you don't really read the words, but there are enough there that are visible and readable that you get the idea of it. And then for stitching, I'm going to take that to the sewing machine right there and stitch that. So I am knocking off stitching for my bingo board. When you use double-sided adhesive, I firmly suggest brayering with your letter opener slash I forget what that thing is called. But yes, that thing, brayer it down so that the adhesive is nice and tight. And then also brayer it down onto the surface that you are then wanting that to adhere to if you want a tight adhesion. This is a trick that I learned from Heidi Swap, especially for a memory planner, or as you can see here, I need to trim this off a little bit because I am working towards the end of the book. It's definitely the back half of the book, so it's pretty bulky. And I want to accommodate to that gap in the seam there. And I really want to make sure that it's nice and tight. So you can see I've used artist tape between the two pieces to just hold them together because I don't have any overlap in that. And I will take that off so that I don't have that lump in the back, especially for the back pages on the back page on the right hand side. So I will go ahead and adhere that in. I am turning it upside down because I am very right dominant. And so that just is easier for me that way. And also because that's where the bulk of that book is. This side I will obviously do right side up. So I'm repeating everything that I did on that left-hand page. And you can see that the way that I cut the papers as well as the way that I cut that scallop piece is so that it's contiguous between the left page and the right page. So they just run into each other because I used a 12 by 12 sheet for this. Rounding the corners because this book has rounded corners and I just want it to sort of work with that. I had toyed with the idea of just using a pen and drawing around the edges of all of this, but you'll see with the stamp that I choose to use are essentially those lines, and so I don't need to do that. So I want to have an interactive element because I'm Suzanna and Suzanna likes interactive elements, and so I've cut out one of those pocket cards from the Let's Scrapbook collection, and originally actually what I meant to do was take off a little bit of the card adjoining to it so that I could use that as my hinge, but I forgot. And so I'm just using that 1/4 inch double-sided adhesive there, and that 1/4 inch will go back behind. So this is a fun way of being able to get that interactive element in there. That interactive element I am not going to do on page, but I will add maker and an epoxy sticker to the front where all that busy, wonderful, colorful washi is. And then I will use some of the alpha stickers to put design team, and then I've just listed out the design teams that I am currently on behind it because the topic of this particular spread is my scrapbooking favorites. So now I'm going to incorporate, so I've got my stamping is coming up. I've got my stitching, and you'll see the other things coming up that I will include. So this is a Bella Besties stamp, and I'm just using So you only see 2 here because I've already created 2. There was no need to go through all 4 of them on camera. It's just boring, snore, snore. And so I saved you the agony of having to watch that by just creating 2. 2 for the left-hand page and 2 for the right-hand page. So this is going to house my folding. So stamping, check. Fussy cutting, coming up, check. And we are going to high-speed fussy cut here because it is super boring to watch. Remember to use the back end of your scissors, move the paper, don't move your scissors. A million times, if you watch my videos, you know I talk you through this, right? Sharp scissors, and I like my spring-loaded because I can control them a whole lot better, the amount of pressure that I'm getting, and I also don't get carpal tunnel with that. So those little flowers that I fussy cut are going to be what adhere the flaps down. So next thing, last thing is washi. So I'm going to use the washi, this is Bella Blvd washi, as hinges for my photos. So a little strip of washi on the back, on the top side, then a little bit of washi on the back side. You can just place one if you would like. However, I find that it's a much sturdier stick and a stronger hinge when you do it on both sides. Then each flower has just on the half that is stuck to the white stamped piece, not to the photo. It's actually not stuck to the photo. That's where the flap slides in and out of in order to anchor that photo. So there's the other 2 on the left, like I said, and 2 on the right. So for scrapbooking faves, I am not going to journal online. I never do. But it's a photo of me in my space. So my space is my favorite place to scrapbook. Not a big fan of scrapbooking outside of the house. I think part of it is just because I have been scrapping here for so long and have been scrapbooking for so long that I know where everything is. And I never really know what I need to create my projects. And while it's not a lot, I just like having all the options. And then the next photo is of my Epson PictureMate printer and the Red River photo paper that I like to use. And the top right picture is my inks. I have all the inks, but the ones that my favorites are my Distress Oxides and then my black VersaFine. And then the bottom photo is of my favorite journaling pen. I pretty much always use these black Muji pens, but I do have them in every color and size. So I have taken the I Love Scrapbooking from the puffy stickers and just used scrapbooking for the title. And then I'm using the black letters from the Let's Scrapbook Doohickey stickers for faves. So the title is Scrapbooking Faves. I am going to, off camera, I will put a small heart next to the S. You'll see that coming up in the video, but I will change that to one of the Doohickey S's that says smile, a nice big red S. I like the way that it counterbalances those flowers better. And then the other thing I'm going to use is an epoxy sticker above faves, just to kind of close up that gap between the banner that I'm about to put up there. So a trick for these letters, if you already know and you want to maintain the placement and alignment, just fold up the back half, even when it's on the sticker paper. So you have to cut it out, obviously, and then fold up the back half, hold down the bottom half of the letters, and then pull up the paper, and it works super well on not having to align them. So I'm putting these banners that are from the Doohickey stickers that say create, and you can see I'm kind of folding, I'm not folding, but I'm curving up the bottom of them just to add a little bit of dimension. And it'll give some shadow too. You'll see that in the photos. And then what I typically do is I'll take my anti-static pouch for stamping or embossing, and I'll use that underneath. I don't ever emboss. I think I use it more for other things. So this is for the challenge for International Scrapbook Day for Bella Blvd. Enjoy the finished product. The close-ups are to follow. I hope you join in the challenge. We would love to have you. And there is a prize to be won for this. So thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.